Alright, gonna change the transmission fluid on my 2020 Duramax Sierra 2500. And it's not too hard, just kind of annoying. So I got a new filter. There's your part number. And I bought the gasket for the pan. I may not need it. The OEM one isn't reusable. I mean, this is an OEM as well. I got it just in case. Truck has just shy of 87,000 miles, and it should take 8 quarts of fluid if you do this right. This involves heating the transmission up to the proper temperature range, and I'll go over that in this video. I put my truck up on jacks, not really jacks, little roll-up stands, because I want a little more space down there. And go down there and go over a couple of the things real quick. Okay, so a couple things to go over. A lot of people think that that is the drain plug, when that is not a drain plug. That is how you check the fluid level. Over here on the side, that's your fill plug. That is not how you check the fluid level. You fill it up there. That's the only thing you do with that port. Once you fill it up, and once you get it up to temperature, and while it's running, you pull that, and it should just, trickle out until it stops. That means that you're full. That's how you know. That's how you do your, make sure you're full, not overfilled, also not underfilled. A lot of guys like to replace the pan with a PPE or the Banks. Honestly, I just didn't want to do it right now. I don't want to pay the money. So just going to pull the pan, hopefully reuse the original gasket, swap the filter, and put it all back together. So first things first, though, is to get the temperature or the transmission up to temp. Needs to be between 167 and 176 degrees. Otherwise, you will not get the proper amount of transmission fluid out. It'll also cause issues with being overfilled or underfilled. So just get it up to temp and make your life a little easier. All right, getting it up to temp is not too hard. Essentially, you just need to get the transmission up to just above 167. I'm just gonna shoot for like 172, 173, just to be kind of centered in that range. But to do so, you just, power boost it essentially. Put it in drive. Manual says to rev it up no more than 1500 RPMs for 10 seconds on, and then let go of the gas, let it idle for 10 seconds, and then do it again. And essentially just keep doing that over and over and over until you get up to temp. Shouldn't take long, take maybe 5 to 10 minutes at most. All right, it's been a few minutes, and I'm just about there. So there's the minimum, 167. It says to be between that and 176. And so I'm just gonna get it kind of to the higher end of that, so it doesn't cool down too much before I get the pan off. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'll leave it at that. All right, for the not so fun part, taking the pan off. So Before you take the pan off, I recommend you crack that loose, your fill port, because it would really suck if you couldn't get that off after you've drained your transmission. So just make sure you can get that open. I've already cracked mine loose, so we're good there. As far as getting these pan bolts out, I am going to break them all loose and kind of loosen the front more, since that seems to be where most of the fluid is going to be sitting, and I will hopefully catch most of it in this, but there's definitely going to be some spill off, so you know, just be prepared for that. And part that sucks is you have to do this when it's hot, so yeah, not going to be too fun. All right, that wasn't too bad. Made kind of a mess. Pan over there. But yeah, not so bad. Let's go take a look at the pan. About 87,000 miles. Doesn't look bad at all. All right, get yourself like a Scotch-Brite and just clean up this sealing surface. You don't want any ridges or any debris to jack up your seal. Just make sure as you're doing it, you're just going in this direction. Don't go in this direction. You don't want to make little cuts this way where fluid could seep through. So go the way the seal runs when you're Scotch-Briting all of that. So I cleaned my pan up pretty good. I just tried to get some of that road tar off of it. So this is good to go now. There's your filter. Comes with this little gasket. You're gonna want to make sure you put that on with the little ridge facing inward, so that can slip in where it needs to go. There are 2 bolt holes that you need to pull, and need to replace those bolts. They are one-time use. You get them at the dealer. They're not too expensive. They're a torque to yield, so make sure you grab another set of those and go ahead and just pull the old, put the new one in. All right, I got the pan in. Just got all my bolts just hand tight. Torque on those bolts is 80 inch-pounds. So about 6.5 foot-pounds. I have this really crappy torque wrench from Harbor Freight, and it goes from 5 foot-pounds to 80. I've used this before doing this service. I did it on my last truck, and it's so inaccurate that I snapped one of the bolts before I even felt this click into torque. So I don't use that. Instead I have one of these, and that goes to 80 inch-pounds. So perfect. I'm gonna use this. Be careful when you torque these. Do not over torque them. They will snap. I've snapped them, and I've had to, luckily I was able to fish out the broken off part of the bolt and get a replacement, but it's just frustrating to do. So just be really careful. The gasket has around each bolt hole like a metal inset, which pretty much prevents you from over tightening or over crushing the seal. So that's kind of nice. But really just get yourself a good torque wrench. I mean, I don't have like a nice torque wrench, so I'm going to use this. But 80 inch-pounds for the pan bolts, and then you'll be ready to fill it up. So I recommend you get a pump. I got a nice pump that I think I bought on Amazon for like 60 bucks. You're just kind of sitting in there, put your fluid in, hook it to an air compressor, and let it fill up. Pretty easy. I started out with 8. I'm going to take it down to maybe I'll go down to 3. All right, so I brought it down. I think I put 7 quarts in. I'm going to run it now, bring it up to temp, and pull the check plug, and just kind of see where I'm at, if I need to add more or drain, or if I'm, full. So all right, we're up to temp. While it's running, pull this plug. Where we at? All right, so I don't think I have enough fluid in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull that port on the side, and I'm gonna add more fluid until that's coming out. Well, I got a little busy. So yeah, I had to add 1 more quart of transmission fluid after I checked it. So while I was adding that last quart, then it started pouring out of the little drain port for checking the fluid level. So once it did that, I closed everything up, cleaned everything up, put everything away, took it for a drive. Shifts really well. I mean, it didn't really have any shift problems beforehand, so truck drives nominally how it should. And yeah, I ordered the filter. I ended up using the new gasket. I figured I might as well. It's been almost 90,000 miles on that original one. I'll just swap out. So I put the new one on, and I think between the fluid, the filter, and the gasket, I spent, well, and shipping, I ordered everything through Rock Auto, but I did buy OEM parts. I think I spent $140 total for everything. So I ended up using almost 10 quarts of fluid. So I know a lot of people who do this service that don't heat it up like you're supposed to, they end up only getting like 6 or 7 quarts out. So yeah, you're supposed to get that thing up to the proper temp, per the service procedure, and then you'll get more fluid out of the transmission. So yeah, just about 10 quarts. I basically used every single thing I bought. I bought a few extra quarts just in case, and I had to use all of it. So so yeah, but that's that. It only took me, I don't know, about an hour. I kind of took my time, so hope this helps.